Alright, what is going on, everyone? We are playing the modern playoffs here, the format playoffs, with more than 320 people. So it's gonna be a long night. 9 rounds incoming, at least. Which will currently translate to me playing at least till 2 o'clock in the morning. Punt and wine. Aha. Alright, we're on the draw. I think we can keep on the draw. 2 Serum Visions here to set things up. If we draw a land, then we could also go with a Thoughtseize, in theory. But we shall see. Yeah, Punt is probably on... never mind, no clue what he's on. To the bottom, to the top. So what I'm going to try to do is... Yeah, we're playing against Amulet here. What I'm going to try to do is... bounce the Lotus Bloom before he can utilize the mana. There's a Zuza, which I probably want to get rid of. Could of course also just go after the Summoner's Pact. But right now he doesn't have the mana yet, and... Yeah, I think with Archmage's Charm... I think I'm gonna go top, then go Archmage's Charm, draw 2 cards. Amulet's of course a good card here, but that also means that he's still short on mana. And our opponent apparently thinks that we are indeed on... Death Shadow, and once the Lotus Bloom here resolves, I'm gonna destroy that one and make him discard, so that either he's very short on mana or that he has to discard the Summoner's Pact. And then next turn we can go after the Amulet if we want to. The Engineered Explosives doesn't do anything. Alright. Do I care about Once Upon a Time? No, I don't, but I want to make him discard nonetheless. Before he can get additional mana down here. Alright, there we go. Summoner's Pact's gone. Now we play Brazen Bora and keep counter magic up. For the most part. Although, of course, he's at 24 life. But we have a couple of counter spells here. Bouncing the Radiant Fountain again. Alright. Now we need to deal some damage here. It's possible that he's sandbagging a cavern, but we know at least 2 of the cards in his hand, so I mean it's possible, of course, that he top decked that. I'm not sure if I should go with Augmage's Charm here. I think I do. Because I want to keep the Logic Knot once we are at a point in the game where we need to Dreadbore and keep Logic Knot up. This could be finding caverns, but he needs a threat. So I'm just gonna let this go and draw some cards. Sure. Could also go, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with Mystic Sanctuary here, getting back a Kolaghan's Command. And then I hope to draw a land. Yeah. Then I have Logic Knot up, and that means that I can actually go Kolaghan's Command right now. The destruction part is not really relevant, but it's important that if he has a cavern there or Teleria West that he's sandbagging, that he just doesn't get that. Now that Teleria West is of course a little bit annoying. He's going with a Summoner's Pact instead of going with... Alright, now we're flooding out a little bit too many lands here, but what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to bounce the Mystic Sanctuary again, if we can. Field obviously is a little bit annoying. So I'm gonna go no, I don't think that bouncing the Mystic Sanctuary actually makes any sense. The only thing that would make sense is like bouncing 2 of... Nah, not even that. Alright. So, we bring in Fulminator Mages. I guess we're gonna get rid of the Murderous Rider. Dreadbore, not at its best here. I think 1 Plague Engineer might actually do something. Could of course also just go with Collective Brutality. Bujuka Bog is a problem that we have to consider. If this doesn't work out, I might be switching to a more defensive line with Plague Engineers. But for the most part, I would want to get either a Titan with the Surgical or a Field of the Dead. Now let's keep this on the draw here. Lotus Bloom again. Two. Oh my goodness. Well, then he. Whoa, 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 whoa. That is really counting on those two Lotus Blooms. Alright. So we can bounce one. The second one is going to be problematic, but if he is missing land drops here. Oh my goodness. But the amulets are pretty sick. Alright, so I think we're just gonna go with the Steam Ends, play Snap here. Come on. Would have been great. Alright, so we're gonna petty theft that one. The problem is that we still die to basically any bounce land and a threat in his hand here. Yeah, he's going for it, I think. Otherwise, there's no reason to do it here. And that's actually pretty sick. Like, with one land. Turn 3 without having to even use the Lotus Bloom. Alright. Yeah, I think that's already game over because... Yeah, that's GG's. Okay, that one's gonna go... At least one red boy here to do stuff. Okay, so I keep because we either have a turn 2 Brazen Borer to bounce whatever, or we have a Jace turn 2 if he has a slower start, and then we can go with a Fulminator Mage. Field of the Dead. Okay. Alright, Vesuva. Oh, you got to be kidding me, man. What? Two of them again? Alright, let's see what's the best course of action here. So if he has a bounce land, then he would also have to have an Explore to get it tightened down. I think I'm just gonna get rid of the Snapcaster Mage here right now. If we go with Fulminator here, Yeah, I think we are just going with the Fulminator Mage and not actually sacking it, waiting for a bounce land to come in. But then he might have a Veil of Summer, which we can't prevent at that point. Then we can't do anything. But we haven't seen a Veil of Summer up until now, so I guess that's alright. If I go after this, like he could have an Azusa, right? Hmm. Well, it's not getting better here. Yeah, we're going after it again. He's probably sandbagging good ones, but I don't really care right now. Because all we're trying to do here is find counter magic and or Kolaghan's commands. Correct. Okay. So what we're gonna do is probably play the K command because with 1 mana there's almost nothing. Well, there's a spell pierce, I guess, that he could have. So discarding the Mystic Sanctuary here, yeah, that's what we're doing because otherwise I can't get anything back. So what we're doing is we're shocking here, return and kill artifact, so that we can be. Oh god, Swan Song. That's even worse. All right. Played around one thing, couldn't play around the other thing. Sucks a bit, but well, anyhow. Um, I think I'm gonna bottom both here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I want to have the land actually. Just in case. We need to bounce something and then have Cryptic up. Like again, it is possible that our opponent is actually yeah, he's doing it. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe this. We're losing against a single mana turn here. Already having gotten rid of multiples before. This is insane. Must have been one of the best hands possible. Another one? Oh, lol. Lol. Yeah, we're dead here. But I think we played it without any... That was... I mean, well played by opponent, of course, but that was not deserved. He had to have so many things going his way here for this to work out. And exactly a swan song as well. This is just insane. We also can't Pact Death him because he has 4 sources that can produce green mana. That doesn't feel alright. Does not feel alright. Alright, we're here in round number 2, and I have some strange stuff on my fingers. This is a weird hand again, and we're on the draw again. This time I'm gonna mulligan. Alright, slightly better. Since we already have a little bit of counter magic here, I think I'm just gonna ditch. The Archmage Charm. That requires us to both make this a... Alright. So playing against blue-white control here, then the Archmage Charm would have actually been good, but that's what I meant here. It's not blue-white control. Bunt something. Huh. So I guess I want to keep up the logic node just in case there's a Teferi coming. Or an Oko, I guess. Alright, let's first have a look and then decide on whether or not we want to go with a Drown. Mono League and Cryptic Command, so he's way off of Cryptic Command right now. But that is, of course, the more potent spell here. Still think I'm gonna take the Mono League. There we go. Alright, we're gonna go top. Actually, now he's probably gonna use the field here. Yeah. Should have gone top bottom. Then it wouldn't have been so obvious. Well, anyhow, we're just looking for a blue source for now. Currently, there's nothing that we know we can hit, right? So the problem is, if I go with a Brazen Bora here into the dark, then it could be that our opponent's just playing another Oko or Teferi or whatever. Alright, let's force some action here, just in case. Force of negation. Well, I guess we could counter that. I just don't know what the upside of that will be, and this is 4, so Drown also counters the Cryptic. So we're just playing this and pass the turn. Hmm. Well, I do want to have the Cryptic, I think, since we're good on the board, and he probably, his removal spell must be a path, so at some point we're probably going to get something out of this. So I'm just going to go top here, see what our opponent does. We'll hopefully get another red source at some point. Yeah, thought so. Do I care? No, not really. Not the field. So I guess next turn I can go play the Brazen Bora, keep Drown up. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm gonna do it end of turn. It's possible, of course, that our opponent draws another counterspell here. What? Alright. Now we have Cryptic up, and we also do have access to both Kolaghan's Command and Archmage's Charm. It's pretty good. And as long as he does have the field there, I don't see a necessity here. Getting back the Cryptic. Interesting. Alright. So he was just waiting for an opportunity here to resolve that Cryptic. And Supreme Verdict at the same time. Feels like I can't really just do nothing here. What I can do though is I can draw 2, he counter draws. And then we go with Kolaghan's Command, make him discard, return Brazen Bora. And that is of course not what I wanted to have. Don't need the cryptic right now. I think Jace is alright. He's really aggressive with these fields. So we almost have lethal. I'm just gonna save the Scalding Torrent for as long as possible. Play this tap because he's probably gonna go after that one anyway. Yep, thought so. Now we could go bold, snap bold, have Cryptic up, right? Because this is 4. It's got 2 cards in hand. We shall see. I mean, he has to do something. So first I'm gonna test the water here. Just trying to resolve the snap, which doesn't resolve. So then we're gonna counter. So the thing is, if Oko like makes a food token, then he's going up to 7, which means we can't kill him. But Cryptic here. Yeah, I think I'm targeting the Oko because potentially he has a Snapcaster. Alright. Yeah, I actually like most of our main board here. Don't think there is a whole lot that I would want to change. There's probably a couple of like these Ice Fan Coals in there. So I could see like a Grim Lavamancer here. Maybe instead of 1 Lightning Bolt. Just to have something on the ground. And I mean, if Oko is going after the Lavamancer, that is still somewhat of an upgrade, so that's fine. Yeah, we're gonna keep. I'm gonna start off with the Tar Pit here because I want to have double black on turn 3, and we can still go with the Serum Visions later on. Astrolabe. Drawing cards. Alright. I guess we're just going with an island here. Alright, so Oko is incoming. Rest in peace. Okay. This is interesting though, so this definitely means that he does have some sort of counterspell here. And I guess that it is going to be Mystical Dispute. That seems the most likely option here overall. Next turn I'm going to start use the Serum Visions. The Mystic Sanctuary sadly is somewhat dead as of right now. Let's cast this, see if it does anything. Or if it's just going to counter it. Nope. Alright, attacking. And again, he's probably going to use the field onto our Tar Pit here. So I'm not sure how good the Serum Visions really is for us. So I think I'm just going to go with the Polluted Delta here. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think this is going to be a blue source, and then the Polluted Delta is going to be a Steam Vents. So that once he passes us, we still have a mountain to fetch if we really want to. Also now the Mystic Sanctuary, of course, comes in untapped. Yep. So this is going to be a mountain just so that he can't get us off. So I don't want to have the swamp just because we're probably fetching more. We only have 2 basics left. The Snapcaster is pretty bad in this spot, but the Thoughtseize could be pretty good. So we're gonna do that, and one, two, three, four. I think I need to shock here. Now I'm gonna just attack, because if he does have this little shit thing with flash, then we can still kill it with a lightning bolt. This might get caught by Veil of Summer. Yeah, thought so. Which is just a retarded card. Like whoever, like Wizards R&D is so bad right now. The cards that they printed this year, just insane. So I want to save my Cryptic Command here, just in case something else happens. So if he had played some sort of creature there, I would have probably just countered with the Logic Knot and ran into a potential counterspell. Currently I don't want to have a second black source, I think, but it could come up. Yeah, I think Black Crypt here is alright, because we could get another Okay. So he's that fetch land there away from just dying to 2 bolts. He's got 7 lands in play. We got 8 lands. Now he also has 8 lands in play. Thrag Tusk. Interesting. Since you have 3 counter spells here. Okay, let's try to counter draw, expecting that our opponent is indeed able to counter this 2 times. Veil of Summer is such a fucking retarded card. It's insane. And this is also going to get countered 100%. Alright. I mean, we can't counter it anyway, so let's just let it resolve here. We draw a card though, which is nice, I guess. Drone. Yeah, drone can actually get rid of that beast there. I think I'm just gonna go with the Serum Visions here. Bottom, lands, go. Alright, another Snapcaster. So our opponent must have boarded out his Snapcasters, or he just doesn't play any. Yeah, I think if you wanna trade off here, that's fine by me. Yeah, you should have more lands in your deck than we do. Okay. So we got 3, 4, 2. A little shy of doing anything meaningful here. But I also don't want to give our only way of getting rid of a Planeswalker just away here. And now we really have a problem. Now we only have 1 more basic land in our deck. K commands. Alright, so we're going to try it again, end of turn here, to resolve a Snapcaster. He should have some sort of Planeswalkers in hand, like this can't all be interaction. Okos and whatever. Also, of course, well, logic nodes are really, really, really bad here. Supreme Verdict. Sure. But that is pretty... desperate, right? So, despite the fact that, indeed, so he has a couple of fields here. Oh, we shall see. I mean, we have lethal in hand here. But he might also not have any more basics to be fetched. Alright, now we have a play here. I think. Because now he has to have 3 counter spells in hand that all do stuff. Alright, Dovin's Veto is pretty good already. What else could happen here? So we're projecting a little bit of weakness here. The good thing is counter draw, could also counter bounce, I guess. Alright. Still a victory here, I think. Because we got him down to 2 cards in hand, and now we still have Logic not up. Although, of course, it's a little bit difficult to leverage here. Yeah, there we go. Oko. Trading a food. And already cashing it in. Let's go with the Dreadball first here. See if that gets countered. It does not. Have a look here. So just an Inquisition. Another Rest in Peace. That's nothing. So cast Murderous Rider. Hopefully get a couple of hits in here. Oh, you got to be kidding me, man. What the actual fuck? Oh man. That's some retarded shit, man. Alright. Yeah, there's a cryptic, alright. So, I guess what we have to do is attack him, get a little bit of life. We're also pretty low on the clock here. This was pretty anemic, I really gotta say. Alright. So he must have something else, otherwise he's dead here. Come on, League, I knew it. Go on, give me some. How much? Like, there's one bolt left. One cryptic, I guess. I don't want to go with the Snapcaster here. Yet. We got only 15 cards left in our deck. Alright. We have a counter spell, we have lethal. Now we should be doing it. We know that at least one card in his hand is a Flooded Strand, so I don't really care. Yeah. Yep, alright, cool. Won this round after a tough fight again. So I'll be back with round number 3. Here is actually also the Frenchman. Can't remember. Ah, yeah, no. Yeah, I can't remember Henderson's name right now. Alright, welcome back here to round number 3 in the Modern Playoffs, which we currently reside at with, I don't even know which place, but with a 1-1 standing. That hand does literally nothing, so I guess, yeah, slightly better. Not way better, but a little bit. I'm gonna push the mountain here, since we don't have anything to do with that anyway. And we're on the draw, so that should give us the time here to find stuff. Forest Ancient Earrings, that's weird. Walking Ballista. So I don't know. Looks like a Tron matchup here, but could also be Hardened Scales, I guess. So I don't want to have too many lands. So I think I put the torpedo on top, and alright, yeah, probably hardened scales, I guess. So we could kill the hangarback, of course, but to which ends? I'm just gonna fetch for the mountain here that we pitched just a second ago. Then I'm gonna look for a brazen ball right here. Yep. I want to have all of that actually. I'm gonna leave the hangarback walker alive here because I want him to invest more mana into it and slow his game down a little bit so that we can catch up with our cryptics especially. And as long as he doesn't draw a or play a outbound Ravager here, that should be possible. So then we can next turn play the creeping torpid and bounce something. This is a Ravager. Alright. Sucks a bit, but still alright, because he apparently wants to pump the hangarback. We're going after the Ravager. He's already sacking everything here, or what? No. Alright. In this matchup, especially, Dreadbore is a real hindrance. And this is probably walking ballista, I guess. Let's quickly go over the sideboard already. So I think Legion's End is very good here, Plague Engineer is very good, Kalita is very good, Grim Lava Mansa is alright. Okay. Also, I haven't seen Hardened Scales in a while, so pretty cool that people are actually still playing it. So what he's thinking here, of course, is he didn't want to play the Walking Ballista for just x equal 1, which I do understand in terms of value, but now we do have Cryptics up, we do have Kolaghan's Command up, and we also have Brazen Bora, which of course doesn't mean anything. Like, there's always the turn that they can just one-shot us or whatever, but now we have at least gained a little bit of traction in terms of tempo here. What I also don't want to do is I'm definitely going to counter the Hangerback Walker. Don't really care about the Walking Ballista as of now, because we can still kill the Walker and the Ballista with our Kolaghan's Command, and then he wouldn't be able to activate the Nexus as well. Also, we at some point can just bounce the Nexus, so yeah, that one we get rid of. This is also very interesting because now we can actually destroy target artifacts. Is there any way that he can actually kill the Akbon worker here to grow? No. Shouldn't be able to do that. Okay, so we've cleared the board, and now it's time to take the game over here. Welding Jar. That's a good one, especially since we're not playing Terminates anymore. Scrap Heap Recombiner, okay. So we can't put the Cold Guns command back on top yet. But if we were to draw a land here, then we could go Snap and have Archmages show him up, which would be pretty neat, I guess. Sacrifice an artifact, search your library for a construct card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. And it also does have modular. So of course Kolaghan's command is also an option here, but I think I'm just gonna go with the Lightning Bolt and keep Archmage's Charm up. Just because of the Welding Jar. And then something will grow here. Because there is the possibility that he's just going to leave this or let this die. Probably not though, yeah. Didn't expect it to happen. Oh. Shocking here lets me also play the Brazen Borer by the end of turn if I really want to. Now if he sacrifices the Darksteel Citadel, which he can of course do. Okay. Hanger back. I think this is actually pretty good because we can just take the hanger back and he can't do anything about it. And if he attacks here, that would be supreme. Like if he just goes attack for the hanger back here. Could of course also just draw 2 cards, but I think I'm just gonna take over the hanger back here. And then destroy that thing. But first, probably want to attack, right? So I think that I'm still creating the tokens here, no matter what happens. Maybe I should have done this the other way around. Probably should have. But we need to get rid of that one. Another Hangerback Walker. So if he doesn't cast the Hangerback here and just comes in with the Ingmoth and the Arcbound Worker. Alright, he doesn't. So this way I'm probably inclined here to counter and return my snap. Then I'm just gonna leave the Hangerback behind to just defend. I think also a decent play here is just to we could always, of course, also just go with let's have a look first, just in case. Alright. So now we pretty much have the ground here. I don't know if he's willing to sacrifice the Ingmoth, because I wouldn't care. Like, he can definitely do that, and if we really want to, we can also just grab the Arcbound Worker here. Animation module is actually something that I don't want to see. Yeah, I think I'm doing the same thing again. Cryptic. Counter and return. And if he attacks, I'm just actually blocking with the Hangerback, because it doesn't say that the owner gets the tokens. Actually, I'm not sure if I should risk that. Good. So my opponent is definitely of the opinion that that is the case, so I'm good with that. Alright, conceded. So now, I think, especially because our opponent might be having stuff like Veil of Summer, etc., I want to get rid of most of my counter magic, also of these, and I want to have some of that, some of that. I want to have these, I want to have those, I want to have that. And we're already at 61 cards. Great. So we cut our mana here a little, so I think we can cut a land as well, going down to 22 cards, especially on the draw. Don't want to cut one of those though, so I think I'm going to go with the Mystic Sanctuary here, and then I'm fine with it. Yeah, I think that is alright. So Legion's End here in the beginning especially, pretty good I think. Grim Lava Mancer as well. Welding Jar is a little bit fucked, that's a really good start, especially for such a deck here. Turn 1 hanger back, pretty insane. Also with a welding drawer backup. So I don't really need all the blue, so I'm just gonna go with double black here. Potentially also, if we draw another land, we can fetch for a little bit less than just shocking ourselves again. But I wanted to have double black here. Yeah, I was like, please not another hanger bag, because... And all other creatures that player controls with the same name. Well, yeah, alright, it's actually pretty good. Alright. So, Legion's End. Don't think there's anything that our opponent can do, and that should get rid of both hanger bags here. Alright. And our opponent's completely out of gas here, and next turn we can have Serum Visions plus a Grim Lavamancer activation. Of course, Grim Lavamancer first has to get through that welding drawer, but that's alright. Spells Guide. So we're fighting the Nexus here for a bit. We definitely need more mana sources. So first of all, we're going to go with this here. And since it doesn't really matter, like our opponent's probably redirecting it to the Spells Guide, which then deals 2 damage to him. Because, well, no, Mox Opal actually can produce blue, of course. But the Plague Engineer should rid us of the Inkmoth here, as long as there's no... It doesn't really make any sense here for us to act with the Grim Lavamancer. And there's the Arcbone Ravager, and that's really problematic, because now he could of course activate the Inkmoth Nexus and just put counters on it. I think that's the best course of action here for our opponent, sacrificing everything and just putting it on the Nexus, except for the Spells Guide maybe. Yeah. One, two, three, four. Yeah. Spells Guide into Arcbone Ravager, probably the only 2 cards that get him out of this year whatsoever. Alright, so he's sacking everything and putting it on the Nexus. And that's exactly 4 as well, so we really have only 1. Is that a Blinkmoth creature? Yeah. So what we really need, next, we already know our next card is the problem. That's really lucky here by opponent. So lucky. Exactly these 2 cards in a row. After not having anything. So the only hope is that Kolgan's command, once we target the spells guide, but I think it can still redirect, and that it doesn't really make a difference here. Such luck, such insane luck. Alright, destroy, and here, of course, so destroy and deal 2 damage there. It's possible that he can't redirect it with the spells guide, due to the fact that it already has the target on it, but I think that's only the case if it's like one sentence. Yeah. That's insane. That's insane. Super not okay with losing this game. Super not okay with it. Now that we're on the play again, I think might actually bring in 2 cryptics again to prevent these types of situations. Now I have a little bit of a slow hand here again, but maybe we can break up something important there on his end. Also, he's on a mulligan, so but feels already pretty insane again what we're playing against here all the time. Like, not in terms of decks, just the draws, the sequences that our opponents draw in most of the games. Alright, so there's hardened scales, but he's got nothing else. I'm not sure if we want to go after the hardened scales or the animation module, but I think since we do have the Plague Engineer, I'm just going to go after hardened scales. Alright, now we're pretty slow here with 2 tar pits, but we also do have some powerful stuff, so hopefully that's just enough. There's a spells guide again, which is just super annoying. Is this construct? No, this is actually a servo token. Yeah, this needs to be an island, I guess. Servo. Servo. Alright. Again, the 1-2 punch Arcbone Ravager here. It's insane. It's just insane. I'm not lying here. This is so fucked up. Alright, so I think since he sacrificed something here, we can actually counter stuff. We're just waiting here for a bit. Also because for the most part he can't really attack unless he wants to get rid of the outbound Ravager. Which of course might be what he wants to do because... So now let's see what he does. Because he could redirect of course, or he could just go with the welding jar here. And these three cards all together is really, really annoying to play against. Yeah. This way, that's fine because now at least we don't take any damage and we don't have to play around stuff. So we're gonna go with our Kalitos here, which then allows us to block the outbound Ravager here with our Plague Engineer. And then next turn, we either have Dreadbore to get rid of one of these, or another Plague Engineer on maybe Blink Moth or whatever. And we're just gonna pass the turn. Attacking here, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, that doesn't really matter because it doesn't trigger anymore, and we're blocking him. It's so unreal, man. Oh my goodness. I mean, now he can't put the counters on the Blink Moth, but dude, like the same draw again? What the fuck? Well, this time around, I'm just gonna go with the Plague Engineer here. That's interesting. Alright. What's the worst thing that could potentially happen? He's got 4, so I guess a Walking Ballista would be really bad for us. Because that could kill the Plague Engineer. But as it stands right now, I think I'm just gonna go with these here. Legion's End is coming up, so that we play this one, go for Blink Moth. Because this time around you can't just push your counters around. Blink Moth, please. Blink Moth, yes. Thank you very much. And we're just passing the turn, and next turn we have Legions, and like we just have to get around either Walking Ballista or Dismember here, I guess. And then we can go balls deep, as they say. I think I'm gonna take this, right? Because there's currently nothing that really harms us. And at some point I probably can get the Plague Engineer back. So now we actually can attack here. It's pretty good. And he just doesn't have anything. There's no counters, there's nothing here. Just gonna wanna leverage my another. Alright, so I'm gonna bounce the Spell Guide here, I think. Do I? Could also just, yeah, that's probably good enough. Since nothing's really happening now, the Kalitas is also out of dismember range, and with it on the battlefield, I think that's good enough to warrant not being too hasty here with activations. Let's have a quick look here at, I mean, it doesn't really matter anymore in terms of life. Another of those, I guess Snapcaster can't be bad. And now, of course, we can just bounce the... Nah, that's not gonna happen. And that is lethal. GG's. Don't know what just happened here. He did something, right? Activates spell guide. Yeah, alright. GG's. Off to round number 3. Improving our score here bit by bit.